And now we're live. Peace and respect, Richard.
Peace and respect to everyone.
And how are we all doing tonight? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Right, I swear to God, don't be complaining about the audio. I'm going to try my best with the audio. Please, if anybody has a fucking... Well, of course we're muted. We're muted at the start, Sandy. You have to give us a chance. You have to give me a chance to hit the button. Right, hopefully I'm going to keep this mic all up in my face and my audio should be alright. We were, we do what we can. But thank you everyone for coming back. Desert file or desert file. It's revelations and not revelation to annoy Richard more than anything. Hi Wildheart. Hello Uncle back. And we got a little whiff, but I'm sure Dave's already, or Amber's already fallen asleep. So, for everyone watching in the future, thank you all for coming back to the pigsty. Thank you all for watching me and Richard do our thing. Hopefully this week we will get through more than one fucking verse. And hopefully you'll not leave crying this time, Richard. You were a wee bit emotional last week.
Yeah,
love
sometimes, I care about human beings. And then when they say nice things, I get all squishy.
You're squishy. Squishy's a good way. Hello, Pork Granny.
Squishy is terribly inconvenient.
Well, it's always nice to see. You're human, Richard.
I don't call you names.
Spooky says he never watches this, so unfortunately we've lost Spooky.
Okay, I don't blame you.
Yeah, I know. So we got through verse 1. Okay, so we've 2 weeks. Don't go, Sandy. Verse 2.
Why are they dropping out? What's the idea they're dropping out?
I
What's this mean?
Everybody's running away. I don't know. They're not used to my humor,
Aye.
Well, Richard, it's taken us 2 weeks to get to verse 2. Think we're going to get... Would you like to take the floor and see?
We might only get through half of this. I don't know. This gets so twisted in culture that I don't know how far we can get with this.
Okay, right.
Let's give it a try.
If I can, you say twisted in culture. That's from your perspective. We're not even going to get one fucking verse in. That's from your perspective. Everyone else would sort of read it and say it's dripping with culture.
Yeah.
I haven't read it, but
you probably did at one point, didn't you? You've read this all before, haven't you? Yeah.
But people could describe it as dripping with culture, where you say it's twisted with culture.
Maybe both. Revelation 13:2. And the beast, which I saw, was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Wow.
Right. Well, I'm going to say something before you start going down your route. The dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Now, the dragon being, as you referred to earlier, as the devil.
Mm-hmm.
So, the devil, regardless of the description of the leopard with the bear and the lion, has received power from Satan.
Right.
Are we agreeing on that?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, just not the description.
No, the description is what it is, but the question is, what does it mean?
Description is what it is. You're being convoluted and nonsensical now. Does it actually look like a leopard with the feet of a bear and the mouth of a lion?
See, that's what I'm getting at. What does it mean? Okay, so here's the total premise that I'm going with for this.
You're going with, right? Okay.
I claim it's me. That I'm going with for this. This thing has got to be persuasive to people, okay? And people have to think it's the Christ. So it can't be a literal leopard with literal bare feet and a literal lion's mouth. Because, wow, you wouldn't even talk to that thing. You'd be just freaked out by it.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think those are expressions trying to describe like maybe the personality of the thing.
Well, the personality would be, Jesus-like.
Right. So the word lion appears in the text two different ways, a young lion and an adult lion. But either way, it's like this loud, forceful thing. That's the idea of a lion. And to say something is what?
That you're taking as the idea of a lion. People who wrote this take as the idea of a lion. Now, I understand that you can say that a lion is roaring and all the rest of it. But why is that? Why is that the descriptor that it's trying to use when using the word lion?
For the same reason we call some other person an ass. It doesn't mean they're a literal donkey or a donkey-like animal. That's not what it means. It means they bray and they're nonsensical, blah, blah, like an ass. So here it used the word like unto a leopard. It doesn't mean a leopard. It means it's like a leopard. Well, like a leopard in what ways? It's really hairy. It's some kind of a cat. Is that how it's like a leopard?
That's what I'm asking your interpretation.
Sure. The leopard is it's a mountain cat, big scary mountain cat, right? It is used to walking on uneven terrain. It's very sure-footed. It's nimble. It can like climb trees and stuff. It's got, good claws. So it shows those aspects. So if I say someone is like a leopard, I don't mean they're a hairy cat. I mean they're sure-footed. They're nimble. They're quick.
Right. Now I can agree with your description. Okay. The thing about it is, whenever I say you're like an ass, you understand the context. Mm-hmm. You know where I'm going from, right? Sure. For me to ask you to know what they meant, we're only getting your interpretation. So if you say...
No, you can look these words up.
What a leopard is.
Well, that's not what I mean. You can look up how they're using the word leopard here in the usages. And you can see it's talking about a person. In fact, whenever it talks about animals, it's talking about kinds of people. Like you no one actually thinks that a sheep is without its own will, and that a sheep is part of a herd.
Yes, but we know. I'm just saying that we know these relative ones. They're
sure.
You're giving me your interpretation of the leopard and its description of how you see it.
Is that loud in the background? Can you hear that?
No.
Sorry. Okay, good. Never mind. Yeah, of course it's how I see it. But I think I can justify that within the definitions and usages that it actually describes. Like there's two forms of the word ass, for instance. There's an ass meaning a female ass, and that thing is good and dependable and it's a worker, right? And then there's another kind of ass. It means a red ass, having red tinge to its hair. And that thing is bad and non-dependable and stubborn, and it's a piece of crap animal. In the English, they both came out ass, but they shouldn't. It should be more defined than that in the way that they meant it. Okay, now we're doing something else.
No,
Nope.
I was just loading the bot.
Okay. So in that same way, when you look up these words, leopard, lion, bear, you're going to end up with aspects of a human personality, and not the literal animals. And you can say that a leopard is sure-footed and nimble. You can say that a bear is strong and overpowering and intimidating. You can say that a lion has an authoritative voice. And those things are true of the animals, but that's not the point.
Mm-hmm.
The point is it's true of the person.
I get that, but I'm still okay. The description that you're giving to me is your description.
Sure.
I'm using a word in context and making a refer to someone who's never heard it before. I would have the ability to add to it any description I wanted.
Sure, of course you could. Go ahead.
I don't need to, but that's what I'm saying is I get your point and I understand. It's just the description it's coming from is coming from you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is perfect. Just if I can, live chat. Ger streams meet Pork Granny. Pork Granny meet Ger streams. Ger was giving me shit the other day, and then I told him I'd send you after him, and he said that, he said very not nice things about you, Pork Granny. So you have to get Ger streams. Go, get him, get him. So yes, back to this. I just see that the interpretation you're getting is literally from you.
Yeah.
You know, you're seeing leopard, and you can add to it whatever the fuck you want.
Well, within the definitions and usages, I can, yes.
Yeah, you're not going to say it's got wings, you know.
Well, I can't just add stuff to the text nor take anything away.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next animal then. Burr. What does burr mean to you?
The bear is a big, strong, intimidating thing.
Burr can also be cuddly.
Not in real life.
But we do use it as cuddly.
That's a present thing that we do, and how bears became cuddly, I have no idea.
But it happens, and we understand that.
Yeah, I don't think this is like referring to Winnie the Pooh, or even Smokey Bear.
What about Ted?
When it says bear. What?
Ted the bear?
Or Teddy.
Ted.
Yeah, or Teddy
well, no,
Ruxpin.
Ted, you don't know the movie. You don't watch movies. Ted, he smokes weed. He's a bear, came to life.
Interesting.
Got a job. Ended up getting married and all.
And you watched this.
There's a sequel.
And
it's quite funny. There's also two. There's two of them.
you use the child as an excuse to have watched something like this.
Oh no, I would not. I would not show Ted to my daughter.
Oh,
it's an
like
adult
that.
movie.
Okay. Oh, I had no idea.
Well, not that movie. Not that type of movie. Everybody knows Ted.
It's
the
grown-up
fucking dog.
humor. It's not for kids. I get it. It's like adult cartoons are not necessarily sexual, but they have adult themes. Okay, so
with the bird, the bird's big and cuddly, and no, the bird's intimidating.
No, big and intimidating. Bear are unusually strong, even for their size. Like apes, like the silverback gorilla is unusually strong, even for its size. It's much stronger than it looks like it would be. And bear muscle mass is very dense like that. In fact, if you cook bear, like the muscles, when they start soaking up water and become less dense, the meat itself gets a lot bigger than it started out. Whereas like cow stays basically the same size, might even lose some mass when you're cooking it.
Bacon over here shrinks. If you buy it under a certain price, it shrinks when you cook it.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about. So you got a high fat content.
No, just filled with water. They fill it with water.
Oh, that too, yeah. Okay, so now you got me thinking about other stuff, like how do they get the water
Right,
into
we're
them?
not even
Never
going to go
mind.
down that road. No, we're
Anyway,
talking about birds and and the mouth of a lion, right? We've already covered the
so
lion.
I'm thinking in a pressure chamber, of submerged meat would. So anyway, moving on. Um, yes, and the lion. Now, often in the text, not necessarily this particular word lion, but if it's consistent within itself, this is a young lion, and I think this should read young lion, because the difference between like an adult male lion and a youth or adolescent male lion is the adolescent male is like testing stuff out and pushing his luck, just like human teenagers will. And sometimes they talk a little bit too loud just to see what will happen. And sometimes they assert things as being true that aren't true. They're just talking some crap to see what happens. And an adult lion wouldn't do that.
Okay, so let me surmise. You're telling me that a very nimble, used to walking on, difficult ground, a metaphor, right?
Yeah.
Who's overnaturally strong and big and intimidating, yet is playful and testing boundaries and loud like a lion, and it sounds exactly like what you're aiming for, Richard. With this.
That's pretty much it. I don't think he's doing so much experimenting as much as he is just talking crap, though.
And the dragon.
Although he would believe that crap.
I think we may have asked this before, but I just want to double check now. The dragon is the devil, right? The devil has come here chasing Jesus the alien, right? Or not ours, but the old ones, right?
The last one round.
Yeah. He doesn't. So he only chases the most recent one.
Always.
But they're all together. Why can you not say that he's chasing them all, and you're only saying
you could put it that way, but the point is for him to interfere with end times and get as many as he can, which means he's really messing with the most recent one, the Father. Although he's messing with all of them, no doubt.
But he doesn't care about the rest of them.
He's already had his fight with them.
If you've 20 people who've had a fight with this one guy every time, would you not gang up or get together with the other 19 and like?
Well, they have. That's why they win.
Okay.
Because they always outnumbered, outsmarted, and outpowered him.
Right.
But he gets his little share.
Question then. The Antichrist, the person who's receiving this power from the dragon, is in no way related to the dragon, has prior contact with the devil. Does he? How is he?
Too many questions at once. Not physically related, not genetically, like as a descendant or something. Although there may be in human beings genetics from those Elohim, the Satan and his kind. We might have some of that in us, and perhaps that was part of the genetic manipulation that made us what we are. But not a direct relative.
Okay,
he's
like
not
Jesus
even the same.
Jesus isn't a direct relative of the Father, as you put him.
Yes, right? He is. It's asserting that we all children of are literal children of.
So he's a cousin. He's his dad. He's his mother, or he just has his DNA in our bodies.
Who's a cousin?
The Father, as you refer to him.
Yeah, ancient ancestor. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just going with the ancient ancestor.
Yeah, that's literally.
I know relation, ancestor. And we're not. When I say relation, you know what I mean. Cousin, father, close relation. There's no relation directly there. Directly being shortly, as in fathered him.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Not shortly. It's some time ago. Yeah.
Yes, right. So the idea of the devil. Now the devil's genes. This person that's chasing them, his DNA isn't going to be there.
No, we don't have a genetic survey of him. No.
Right. So how does he pick? There's no book left for this person either, or is there an anti-Bible out there somewhere that this guy's reading?
No,
how is this guy chosen?
He's in fact, from what I understand, he loves the King James. He loves the 66 books of the King James. Like that's his favorite Bible.
Now you're saying that from reading or personal experience that we've discussed before?
Both.
confirmed by one, though.
I don't take one over the other. I mean, I think both are equally valid or invalid. But I think the measure of a man is his knowledge and his family. And his knowledge is, in order to twist the text. You can't twist something you don't know. That wouldn't even make sense.
How is he chosen?
I don't know how he's selected out of 8 billion folks. Maybe he's like a really big zealot, and all the zealots get interviewed and see which one will buy the crap. And whoever falls for the crap best gets selected as the Antichrist. There might be a competition to become the Antichrist. Yeah.
But nobody knows is happening.
Well, not nobody.
Nobody in the participating in it knows.
Oh yeah, they can't be aware of what's going on with that, because then they would ruin the whole thing.
Right. So what if nobody did this?
What if nobody was a religious zealot who can be fooled? Are you kidding me? Have you met humans?
Doesn't mean the possibility doesn't exist. People could.
There's always. I mean, come on, man. There are religious zealots who just, say crazy things.
On this planet, as you refer to it now, to do an internal critique, this has happened 20 odd times before. Possibilities exist. We've already discussed about the mathematical numbers. If you take half the population and shoot them off and they all go their own directions, there's a lot of planets out there. There's a lot of possibilities.
That'd be fine.
So you have a planet where nobody went as extreme as the devil wanted. Okay, it happened, but they didn't go
I don't know how that would.
So, but on that planet, then they've just a shitty Antichrist that nobody ends up believing. Then
let's just say like this: human nature is human nature. The kind of species animal that we are is what we are. If you put 8 billion of us on one planet and say technology requires that the population be about 8 billion at the end of the planet, then you have 8 billion possibilities of finding somebody who would do that thing. That seems plenty, when I could probably find
so we have
right. 1 in 10,000 religious people are zealots.
Okay, so we'll take so that you're telling me that the population size is also relevant to when the aliens arrive, not just our technology
Absolutely.
And socially and how we are. It's our population.
Sure, because population is cooperation and technology, and
because all of these planets have happened so many times, and we have all these possibilities, right?
Sure.
And as you said, it's possible for other people to go off and do their own planets in their own galaxies, if they want to.
I guess they could, yeah.
Oh, maybe. No, we went over this last time, and you said that people do.
No, I said it's logically possible. I didn't say people are going to want to leave heaven willy-nilly once they're there.
Yeah, you're correct. We did discuss that and how I would describe it as the Star Wars living under an empire. You know, you can't leave. They're just going to hunt you down.
I get it. No,
but the point I'm trying to make is it's a numbers game. Okay?
To some extent, yeah.
Now, so you have two criteria that you have laid out: technology and social status, and now from tonight I've noticed also a population. Now, are you saying 8 billion because you believe it's happening in the next 20 years and it's 8 billion now? Or are you using 8 billion as a number that you have retrieved from the book?
There is no 8 billion mentioned in the book. It just calls them waters, like a whole flood of people.
So you have no idea on the number?
No, except for that so far, if it's going to happen, it hasn't happened yet.
Doesn't answer my question. Are you picking 8 billion because that's the population that's on the earth now and you believe it's coming soon?
That is an influence, yes.
Right. Would you agree that it's in the billions that it must be at least?
For what?
You said you're agreeing that there's two criteria. There must be a high population. You said 8 million. We've now hammered it down. So it's a big number. So I'm asking you, and it will be arbitrary. You know, you can say 1 to 5 million. I'm not going to say 1,255,000 is the exact number, you know.
Yeah.
But there has to be a number then of a population size. Now, ignoring what the number is, we achieved the technology level that we're at now,
Mhm.
which you think is required, but we never hit that population because we've called ourselves.
I don't know how you get to any kind of like beginnings of space travel where you could accept spaceships arriving at any level until you got to about this population. I don't know how you'd ever get there.
Right, say for talk's sake, most of their planet has been destroyed from a natural disaster in our version of the 1900s, right? And they are a very small population, limited, and due to resources, they picked up solar power, they picked up all this wonderful stuff and all the rest of it, right? Technology is at that level, and maybe possibly would grow a little bit faster in certain fields, because with trauma causes pressure. Every war brings out new technology. You know, we focus it. We're small. We've limited population. We're all taking on this, that, and the other. We never break that limit. We then go looking for another planet because our planet is fucked. So we then build a small ship using all the resources that's in the world where we can't live. So I'm not going to say we've unlimited resources, but we have the ability to go out and get what we need.
Good bit of stuff, yeah.
So are the aliens just not going to come near us until we then start on another planet and then start all over again recolonizing it?
I'm so confused. This is so complex. I have no idea where you are.
You're saying that there is a limit of population before the aliens come, and I'm saying regardless of what the population limit is, this planet never hit it because this thing happened.
Oh, I think you're forgetting that they're hand selecting what kind of a planet, what geological properties it has, how far it is from a certain kind of star at a certain specific time in the life of the star. I think you're...
No. You said they start the motion and step back and don't interact again.
They obviously do step back, mostly.
They do step
Till
back.
end times. Till end times, yeah, they step back.
So they're going to have an influence, and a meteorite comes, they're going to stop it.
Or they're the ones that shot it.
Okay, so they are causing this planetary destruction, hypothetical.
Sure. Well, it's just like deism. Everyone can say, look, when was the last time these angels and God interfered in any society through the history of us being on there? Never.
Richard,
There's
you're basically saying
right?
You're saying to me that this hypothetical that I'm putting forth is not possible and they would not allow it to happen.
I didn't say it's not logically possible. I don't see anything self-defeating about it.
It's not possible because they would not let it happen.
Yeah, because of intelligent interference, it won't happen. Just like you could let your infant child do something stupid and get themselves killed, but you're going to get in the way. You're going to stop them.
They do influence the world. They do have their bits and bobs and put their hands in and do these things.
I think only very, very, very small ways and very small scale and very few individuals there's actual interference with.
Why not step in and kill the Antichrist?
Until the end times. What's that?
Why not step in at the end times and kill the Antichrist?
Because they want it to be. Dude, the Antichrist might save more to heaven than Jesus does. Or at least a really good number of people. I mean, okay, let's put this in real terms. If you saw,
we got one verse. We got one verse. Go on ahead.
Oh, we're not getting past this. We're about to come into the part. It's just like someone tries heroin one time, and it was a fun time. They had a great time, you know, and good for them. They felt awesome. They loved it. They had a good time with their friends. Whatever. That's beautiful in its own way. But then they really want it again. Soon they're addicted. Soon they've lost their house, their car. They're stealing from their friends and relatives. Soon after that, they're on the street living under a bridge so they can have heroin. At some point, the heroin addict goes, you know what? This is not good. But you have to see a certain level of negativity to recognize that something is not good. So the beast of Satan presenting actual, palpable, tangible evil saves so many. Why would you want them to not get saved?
Again, encouraging the suffering and the manipulation.
It is absolutely manipulation, absolutely to our benefit, and we need it.
Right, so we're back to what we talked about last week. You consider it our benefit because you are in agreement with the aliens, and by benefit, you mean that we get to live when they blow up our planet. It's a benefit to everybody. If they don't
Bad
blow
news, planet's going to blow up anyway. Eventually.
Eventually, man. Yes, eventually. Come on now. Don't say the planet's going to blow up, because we're talking relativistic terms. You're talking 20 to 30 years, okay? Planet has no sign of it going to blow up in 20 or 30 years.
No.
Right? So if the aliens didn't attack, didn't enforce their rule, and didn't tell everybody that they're the boss and they're taking our planet and all our minerals because they believe they started us, we'd have no way of proving that. All right?
True.
We're just going off their word. So some random alien race could have come across and just fucking do this. You get to heaven, it turns out there's races from all over the place, and they're a slave trader. All right? They just walk in and steal advanced fucking people's populations. All right?
It's possible.
I fucking tangent and distracted myself. Yes. So they're going to appear and do this. And, like, we're just going to accept it. And you think it's for our benefit because you want longer life and for medicalness to be grand and the option to be there to get your own spaceship and explore the cosmos for as long as you want.
Okay,
You're getting past all that. You're cool with other people going through torture. You're cool with.
I'm getting past all that. What does that mean?
You get a pass to all that because you believe straight from the start. You don't have to go through hell.
What hell they go through? I don't.
You said that the people suffer for 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people who don't get taken to heaven get suffering for 7 years.
Yeah, an additional 3.5 years if you stay. Yeah.
You're going to get a pass because you're going to believe it.
I don't. Or I could choose to stay here for the other 3.5 years. By the way, that's my intent.
Your intention of having to do all of this and lived your life for as long as you want, and knowing that when the aliens arrive, you're going to say, brilliant, I'm right, and then you're going to hang around for 3.5 years and not use your free ticket up.
Yes.
Why?
That's right. Because I want to help people. I intend to stay.
And you are going to convince people that the aliens are what we believed.
I want to. I don't know that I will. I do not know that I will convince one person, but I'm going to try.
You have that option. Do you believe that you have the option to stay here for 3.5 years and be a prophet?
From what? Wow, that's a big word you just used there.
Well, in saying that, it will be confirmed.
From what I can read,
you'll be speaking the truth. You'll be prophetic. You're a prophet.
From what I can understand, no, prophecy is about the future, not the present.
I didn't say prophecy. I said the expression.
It wouldn't be a prophet speaking about what is.
Okay, so you're not going to agree that words have different definitions, and you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say the word prophet.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Well, then take the definition I'm using. You're going to be that person.
Okay, I want to help. Okay, and from what I can understand from the story, anyone can refuse to go. Anyone. That would include me.
Three weeks ago, we had something very similar. New development, or have you always intended?
What? No. The question was, could I? I said yes. Being understanding it, if this is what it is, and I'm understanding it correctly, it would be very easy for me to accept.
So the
So I
aliens
could.
arrive.
I
Okay.
absolutely could go with them right after judgment.
But you're going to hang around for the 3.5 years.
That's my intent.
To save people.
Yeah.
Locally.
Yeah.
There ain't no planes or fuck all or nothing.
Planes?
Ain't going to be no planes flying.
Oh, we're all brought to one place for judgment anyways, from what I can tell.
You've got the whole planet available to you, the population of what's left.
Anybody that stays, yeah. Be within probably 100 miles of each other.
Travel around for 3.5 years telling everyone, praise the alien.
Well, not praise the aliens, but if this is true and if this is the right way to think about it and look at it, then I would be able to, I think, on occasion, make a reasonable argument that, look, why, never mind what religion said in the past, who cares? But look at what's going on right here, right now, and assess it for what it is, what you know it is.
Don't forget to follow it up. If you decide to stay, we're blowing up the planet and you're going to fucking die. So it's come with
Not
us.
we, but yeah, I would have to include that, honestly.
Yeah, Matt, you're going to include it a little bit more nice. But that is the end conclusion. Do what I tell you, or you're going to die.
Well, it's not exactly what I'm saying. It's more like accept
I know it's not what you're saying
with your own senses, and understand that we have no power over these beings. Their technology is insane compared to what we got. We got children's toys. That's what the hell we got.
What? Right, but so they are more powerful than us on a technological level, and they are dominating us, and they are going to destroy this planet. So your options are die or come with us.
You know, it's just like, and you might say this is an appeal or whatever. Who was it? Some famous historical figure said, "Man will most likely die in a sad whimper." By golly, I think that's true. Like, we're killing off the honeybee. We've got cysts growing on ocean animals because of contaminant. We're killing ourselves. We're killing ourselves. We are lessening literally every day, our own chance of survival. I don't know. I don't even know how much longer we could keep doing this. Probably not as long as we'd like to think. It's just like the global warming, which became, changes of the environment, and it's advancing much faster than we first thought it would. The effects of it are multipliers for each other, causing it to just be worse and worse, more and more rapidly. And I don't see any end in sight for that. I'm not certain that another 50 to 100 years from now, there'd be a human left on the planet. I just don't even know.
I'm not going to
say something like that.
I'm not going to quote any climate scientists or anything like that, because I can't say that you are definitely not wrong. If we don't get our act together, we're going to screw shit up. But we're getting our act together is should be changeable. We should be able to fix the damage we've done.
Maybe. I tell you, that ocean water's now got a really long half-life.
Half-life? What?
It's radioactive. We're pumping ocean water through.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you meant. I thought you meant naturally. I was like, what? Since when did the ocean?
No, we can't date ocean water when it's just ocean water, or any kind of water. No, but we're causing radioactivity in the oceans. I mean, like, no kidding,
I
we
agree
really are.
No, I'm in agreement with you. I just thought you said something different.
Well, how do you stop that? How do you fix the water?
Richard, the points of our world and where we are now in our level in technology and what we are doing to the planet and shit like that. is a product of ourselves. It is not a plan from aliens.
Okay.
You know, but okay, I'll rephrase that. I don't want to make a direct statement and just end. What I'm saying
That's
is,
okay.
no, it's more nuanced like that. More nuanced than that. It's the state of our world and where we are now is not proof of God. It's called
No.
look at the trees, right?
Well, it's talking about our human nature. We just do stuff.
It's
Yeah.
a fancy look at the trees, all right? You
Okay.
get the fucking point I'm making. Going off our technology level and stuff like that, all very subjective. It's everything I'm getting. Looking from some sort of, like, I can agree with everything you say, and I can agree with all your interpretations. Looking for something correlative. I'm looking for something that.
Do you not see the irony of what you're asking?
You want the irony of what you're asking? Is because when I
No,
mentioned
I know the irony of what I'm saying. Do
No,
you
no, no.
see the irony of what you're saying here?
The irony is that I said about planets and the possibilities of that, and you said it's not possible, but you're asking me to take into consideration the possibility of aliens being God. I get that.
Okay, that's not what I was talking about. You want me to give falsifiable evidence to something that is intentionally not falsifiable and has no evidence for it. Like, this whole thing is designed to not be able to be proven. It's kind of the point. It's how we have what little freedom we do have.
It comes down to a few people figuring it out with their own interpretations and everyone looking at it differently.
No, it comes down to an interference by the living angels onto our planet. That's what that, until then, it's all up in the air. Sorry, up in the air.
Oh, sorry, 69 mega. Want to find love or AI will help. Has just.
Oh, that's sweet AI trying to help me find love. What do you mean by love there? Anyway, to say something.
Okay, if I can, right? Think about something while I say this, right? You want people maybe not to be convinced. Your doctrine or religion is true, right? You want people to believe that, and one of the big things that you do, and one of the big things that gives your religion or doctrine, right? I'm not going to keep doing that. I'm just going to say the words, all right? Okay. Gives it validity, so to speak, is the fact that it's plausible. The fact that everybody says aliens could be out there, they did, they didn't, or whatever, and all that. It's more plausible than God. You lean on that, and that gives you validity. Are we in agreement with that? You're getting what I'm saying?
Okay, keep going. That's right. Fair so far.
But at the end of the day, you're still basing all of this off the Bible. You're still basing all of this on the point that you are a Christian, and we're still going with the stories. Christians, right? And Yahweh and all that, right?
Okay.
That's what you use mainly to put forth what you're... I know you agree with older texts and stuff like that, but this is what you know best. Revelation's on your hand. You know, this is your favorite, okay? What makes you any different from anyone else is going to be something that we can agree on rather than an extra 10 steps to get to the appeal to God.
That part lost me. I was with you right till that last sentence.
Most Christians just say this, that, and the other, and you have they have the discussions with them, and they just go, God works in mysterious ways. We don't understand. You know, they appeal to God.
That's a cop-out, yeah.
And yours is a bit more longer and well described, and you have reasonings why God can do it, or why God doesn't do it and doesn't show himself. Okay? You can talk for hours about it, where a Christian just goes, I don't care, it's just God. You know, it takes you 4 years to get to this point. I'm still not fucking there, right?
Yeah.
But what makes you any different than any other Christian? What makes...
Nothing. Until it happens.
Until it happens, you see, that's the same as every Christian.
Right. And that will be the proof of what is correct and what is not correct.
Okay.
Just like any one of us, any one of us can theorize what you are going to do next Friday. You know? And we might even have gotten a little comment from you in passing saying I'm going on an adventure. And we can all theorize about what the adventure is and what you're going to wear and all kinds of details. Until you do it, we don't know. So I'm part of that. I don't know.
I can make any fucking story I want up, and we'll know it's true when it happens.
Now I'm personally persuaded that what I'm saying is true. I don't think I'm lying. Okay. However, there's no way for me to show that this is the right way to look at it until after the fact. I know. Isn't that wonderful?
That's a fucking cop-out too.
No, it's not. It's a fact of reality. It's not a cop-out. You can't prove the future. It's not a cop-out. It's how it is.
I know it's true when it happens. You might as well just fucking say that, like.
Yes, that's right.
M2M, thank you very much for coming back. Previously, the Casual Spaceman. YouTube sometimes just fucking blocks comments. I can't even see your high comment, so I don't know what happened. No idea.
So yes, evidently you can't prove the future. You could speak to someone's intent, what you think their intent is, but until they do it, you don't really know, in the way that the word know means to have a surety in reality. I don't know. I believe. Sure, it matters.
I just what makes you different than any other Christian apart from you, okay? People put up with you because of your beliefs. And I'm not talking about your beliefs in fucking aliens and shit like that, but your belief in being progressive in reference to political points of view and things like that. People put up with you because of that. People put up with you because you're polite. It's not like you're good with numbers and you can remember things like that, like verses to prove your point. That's not why people put up with you, you know?
I remember what's in the verses. I don't remember where they're located.
People put up with you because of you. Okay? You get that from
Fair
God,
enough.
right? I don't give a shit. I see you. I don't see no.
Right.
What makes you any different from any other Christian in your religious beliefs? This is the only reason people put up with you is because of you, not your beliefs. Your beliefs is something for us to talk about because you're passionate about it. And we all want to spend time with you, so we let you be a selfish cunt, and we only talk about what you want to talk about. You're like a polite wild heart, not drunk.
Fair
we
enough.
do it because it's how we get to talk to you. It's how we get to hang out with you. Like, you're not going to come play Quiplash with me. You know, I might get you to come bowling if we lived up the street
I've
from each
thought
other.
about it a couple times, but
It's not your thing, you know.
I think about Quiplash. I think someone's got to lose. Why shouldn't it be me?
Nobody loses.
Why not come with what I think is funny, but nobody else is going to laugh at, and lose?
We
Someone's
will
gotta
laugh
lose.
at the
Why not?
we will laugh at the fact that you have no idea what you're doing, and you'll still win.
Oh, I could win Quiplash every episode. You just write penis.
No, you have to wait till at least a half an hour in before you start any word. We've already done the cum stream, the bumhole stream, the ball stream. You need to wait at least 20 minutes.
See what I'm saying?
You can't just start
Okay.
with penis. You have to build up to it.
You have to build up to. Okay, well, I was missing that nuance. Thanks for sharing
The
that.
next Quiplash stream.
Nothing makes me different. Nothing.
Why the fuck do I waste my time with you? Ooh, hold on. I'll
Don't
wait.
know, but I'm glad you do. And
You-
here's why I'm glad you do. Here's why I'm glad you do. But let's say I could be wrong. Fine, let's grant that. Let's say I could be right. Let's grant that too, because that's equally plausible. Okay. If what I am thinking is right about these stories is right about these stories, if it is true, then I have really significantly made your life easier in your assessment of the events in the moment that you're experiencing them.
You said
Okay?
yourself, they don't really care if
They're not gods, but you can call them that. It's fine.
right? So my revelation without meeting you would have been, oh frickin' hell, aliens are here. This is pretty cool. Then they started doing their shit, and I'm like, oh god damn it, it's one of them sci-fi movies. I fight back, and we get like a Mad Max cross with space or Starship Troopers, right? We get somewhere in between that,
All right.
right? But that's gonna happen anyway. That's going to happen anyway. And the fact that you have had this discussion with me and said you don't have to call them gods, you can just call them Big Daddy Alien. They're still they don't give a shit. They're going to ruin your planet anyway. They don't care.
Well, it's not going to give them a negative impression of you, no matter what you call them.
Yes, but according to you, the aliens are going to come here and they're going to give us the option to go to heaven and leave instantly with our own spaceship to go travel the cosmos. Okay? I don't need to meet you to know that I would have said yes to that. Free spaceship. Live for 3,000 years minimum. No sickness. Get to travel around by myself. Have a bit of crack around there. Yeah! Why the fuck would I not take that?
Right.
I don't need you for that. You know? You're not that pretty. You haven't made anything easier for me. Because I would have accepted
I know.
them anyway.
Oh, and point of honesty, it struck me about 3 days later that I refused to ask the question when you asked me to pray, so I never did ask the question. And since I never asked the question, I never got an answer. And that was my assessment of who and where you are. And I think you're right. I think I'm not helping you personally. No. I mean, on this topic, I don't think I'm helping you personally.
Spiritually or personally?
How? I don't know why that's different.
Right. I have someone that I can go and hang out with and talk shit with at least 2 or 3 hours before the show went on. People are turning up, we're all having fun, it's a bit of crack, and it helps my mental health to have someone who I can...
Oh, on that topic, sure. No, that's beautiful. Yeah.
You know. And then there's spiritual, where if the aliens turned up, it'd be no fucking difference.
Right. Okay, then I'll use the word spiritual right there. I'm not helping you on a spiritual level. But that's okay. That's fine with me. First of all, you give me a platform to throw these ideas out there. If they're not true, they won't matter. They'll become inconsequential. If they are true, I really helped somebody.
Oh, that's just a...
I don't know that.
Oh, man, I'm just going to... That's the stupidest thing you've ever fucking...
How?
If I say something and it's proven true, then I help someone. And if I say something and it's not, nobody cares. That's literally the way the fucking world is. That's not a profound moment. I just feel
I didn't think it was profound. I think that's just reality.
It is reality. It's the reality for everybody. So again, religion don't matter. None of this is mattering. Like, there's no... You're not saying...
There is a small difference I have described before. I'll say again. There's something to be said for the mind and its time to process things and consider things as plausible. Okay. And when a person does that, they're introduced to the idea beforehand. Then they have that time to adjust to it. Now, if it doesn't happen, they'll just dismiss it. They'll be fine. But they've had that time to adjust to up here, and that's handy.
Okay, so aliens arrive, rip your family apart, and try to blow up your planet. You're just going to dismiss it because it's grand. You haven't had forehand to talk about it.
You're just going to dismiss it because it's grand because you didn't talk about it beforehand.
Yeah.
I don't understand what that meant.
You're saying that going through the conversation and the...
Yeah, I think so.
General, you would be correct. If me talked about, say, Hot dying and then the dog passed away, it would have someone I could talk to and we'd already have a premise in the final. Right?
Sure.
Or I could just dismiss it. And it's no... Dog's still dead and I have to go through that, but I could dismiss you and not do that. It's fine. You can't do
Yeah.
that when the aliens are here to blow up your planet.
Yeah, the shock value is the difference.
Shock value's different.
It's just like it's the difference between you losing pot and your daughter losing pot, and it's the first thing she ever saw die. That's the difference right there.
That was her grandfather.
Okay, well, that was a tough first death thing.
No, she thought it was. In all honesty,
She was totally okay.
She was 100%. She stood at the front door, and she was like a door woman, like a door person at a hotel, and she was like, "Oh, Granda's in here. Granda's in there in the coffin," and directing people as they came in, and she was.
Okay, so she accepted it very easily.
He has accepted death very, very quickly. She is like, people go sick, and sometimes that's it.
You got a weird kid, man. In a good way, but you got a weird kid.
My mother actually said something because she went over and she had 2 dolls, and she went over and left one in the corner, and she came running around them. Oh, the other doll got sick and died. I've left it over in the corner.
Okay.
It was just part
She's dealing with reality. Good for her. Okay, so I think the shock factor for some, I don't know what percentage, probably a significant percentage of people.
A general population.
The shock factor by having some kind of a briefing aforetime is a handy thing for them that'll be less shocking. And that's all I'm trying to do right now.
What would you say to me if, knowing you and the foresight and that happened, the option to skip all the torture for me and my family, even though I've never really believed up until the time, took it to protect my family while you stayed and went through torture? What would your opinion of me be?
You did exactly what you should have done for yourself and your family.
Leave everyone else here to just suffer.
Look, we all love each other in different ways, or we have different level of fear and are afraid to love each other in different ways and at different levels. My thing for me personally is I'm so committed to this. I would, if I'm allowed, I'm not saying I'll be allowed, but apparently it looks like I'm given the choice, if I'm reading this correctly, that I could stay behind and continue to talk about this with people. And I'd love to do that if it helps.
I'll make a deal with you now. If I can have my family safe, I'll hang about with you and keep you company.
That's very sweet.
Tea and biscuits while the I know my family's safe, and I get 3.5 years. That commitment because of you. But I'll stick around because it's you.
You know that you could have used quail and water, because in the story that's what it uses. Instead of tea and biscuits, you could have used quail and water.
I thought you were using quail and water as in quail. I thought
not quill.
I thought I was writing a message to God with quail and water. I was like, how do you
Quail, a bird is what I meant. Yeah.
Get it now. All right. I was, for a split, it's like wondering how I write on water. Fuck off. Okay. Suppose a message to God would have to be magical.
I was talking about the Exodus story in the larger reading. That's what I was talking about. I get it.
We're at verse 3.
Oh, grand. Can you believe we got so far?
I'm making a point of getting at least 2 verses in tonight.
Right. So it refers to several heads.
Just to address MTM, my mic has a compression thing. I can't get it right. The mic is 4 years old. It's every time I move away or I move out of the direction, it just cuts out, and it's a disaster. I'm hopefully getting a new one soon. Richard.
Yeah. And I saw one of his heads, as it were, wounded to death. And his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast.
Hold on, I was looking at the chat. I'm now looking back over, and I saw one of his heads as if it was wounded as a deadly wound was hit.
Oh, wait a minute. I have to pause. I just read something that makes me pause. Arctic Timberwolf, I do not hate you. I love you. I love you enough that I'll tell you the truth. You're mentally ill. Go get help. I'm not joking at all. Dude, you got problems. Or you're the biggest troll ever. Now, if you're just the biggest troll ever, I'm happy for you. Have a good time. If you're thinking that you are the God of the Bible, which you've claimed several times, bro, seriously, you need some, like, not from me, people who know what they're talking about, professional help. Go get professional help. I'm talking about like mental wellness.
Okay.
And people, if 80% of people say something to you and they say, look, your brain's not running right, go get help for real, okay? And I know I'm not that help, but go seek it, please.
Right. We're not going to do that because... Let's move on from that.
But I definitely don't
I'm
hate
looking
you,
also at the
okay?
chat, and I also see that Jamie has a challenge. So, Jamie, if you want to type your challenge. He also just made a statement.
He did right below there.
There is no 3.5 years. It represents 1,260 days, which equals years. Revelation 12 is a historic sweep about the story of God's people. Would you agree that he's taking it from the Christian interpretation that you generally are?
1,260 years is an eon or 30 degrees of the zodiac. That's a fact. This is one of the reasons why it's 3.5 years, 1,260 days.
Dog, thank you.
2,160 days. Okay. 1,260 days is 3.5 years. It really is. And there's two occurrences of that, which you add 3.5 together twice, you end up with 7 years, which is what it claims, 7 years. Yeah. I mean,
Dog's situation at the minute. Dog, please feel better. Look after yourself.
Oh yeah. Dog's a sweet dude. Okay. But Jamie and I can do that on he's got a channel, he's active, he's not shy. I've got a channel, I'm active, I'm not shy. We don't need to do that here. Email me. I think you even have my email. Email me. We'll set up a talk on this.
Don't steal my challenge. He said he had a challenge for me. He
didn't mean for you. Yeah, he wasn't exactly accurate in that statement.
Jesus' birthday is September the 11th? Or is that... What?
Look, when you say those things, Jamie, you have to depend on a lot of other apologetics to justify how that could be true. Now you got sheep in the field because of the census and everybody had everything full. And that's why the sheep were, I don't know, eating snow, eating dirt.
Right.
No, the shepherds must have taken hay out to the field with the sheep so the sheep could survive in the fields.
When you paused,
dude, this is going to get so convoluted.
When you paused, did you hear someone respond to you? Because there was a break and then you responded to it. Well, let it be.
No way.
The both of you are active. You can have a chat. You can talk.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need to do that here.
Okay. So, are we saying that there was saw one of his heads as if it was wounded to death? So there's a near chop off the head. Right.
But of course, this whole 7 heads thing.
I was not finished. I looked down, but
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, chopped to the head. Who chopped him in the head? Jesus? Did he trip?
Satan.
Did he fall? What happened?
Satan. His God chops him in the head.
Satan's God.
Satan, the God, the beast of Satan's God, Satan, chops him in the head.
We've already discussed that you think that we earlier we said, not even like at the start of this episode, we said that the dragon was the devil.
Yes, the devil and Satan, that old serpent, is the one who damages his prophet. Yeah.
No, hold on. Now, stop 1 second, right? Please.
What?
Dragon is the devil.
Yes.
Right. The dragon lost one of its heads. Nearly.
What are you reading here?
I saw one of the heads as if it was wounded to death.
This is talking about the beast of Satan.
Beast and the dragon and all of the same thing. It's been changed.
No.
Conversation
No,
last
here,
week.
let's go back to 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. It's not the dragon. And upon him 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And that beast, the beast, which I just described, was like a leopard and a bear and a lion. And the dragon gave him his power. He's not the dragon. Sure.
Say something. Talk.
I think that's detrimental. Got it? Okay, cool. So,
back. Thank you very much, back. Back.
oh, new mic fund.
Why did yours come up and dogs didn't? I was wondering. That's what I did after dogs. I was like, why did the alert not go off? Probably because it's been so long since anyone thought I was worthwhile donating to.
It was rusty.
Computer
Barely
just
worked.
broke. Didn't know what to do.
So I believe that it was no good entity and only an evil entity that sealed the deal and made sure that that was going to be his prophet by nearly killing him. And them saving him from what he had just done to him. It's a trick.
Oh no! Oh, it's a trick to steal someone's wallet. It's even a worse trick to steal someone's Rolex and smash it with a hammer, show them the dust, show them the broken bits, and then give them a brand new fixed watch back. That's a trick. To literally nearly kill someone and then bring them back is not nice. More than a trick.
Oh no.
Torture, manipulative. It's a lot of things. It's not a trick.
Okay, maybe trick isn't a powerful enough word for this situation.
Pigeon too small.
I'll use fooled.
Oh, no, I'll use manipulated and tortured. Or tortured into manipulation. Or really cruel, evil act. Now, he's the devil, but, you know.
Well, you know, he's got his line of work. He's got to do certain things.
Comes with a description. You have to do, you know, it's like fill out forms, make sure you clean the toilet. Kill your apprentice.
Destroy this guy. Yes. Almost kill your apprentice. That's right. That's one of the things you got to get done.
It would definitely convince you because do you know what? At the end of the day, thinking of it from the victim's point of view, the Antichrist's point of view, you've just had this person who has ultimate power and ultimate technology.
They saved you.
No,
yeah, that's right.
You see, right. You cut me off and you said he saved you, putting your point across. The different. You tortured this guy. The other person's not going to have a valid choice. It's not a valid choice. Like, it's complete and utter. This person can destroy me with the click of their fingers. It's like, how do you argue with Thanos? Thanos gives you an option. You take the option. You don't have a choice.
Yeah. And it goes on like that in the worshippers of the beast, saying, who could make war with him? Look how powerful he is. So they get the followers get the same attitude about it.
Right. Verse 5 and 6, and seeing as it's Revelations will end in 6. That should bring us up to
Could I read 4 first, though? And they worshiped the dragon that gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great blasphemies, and power given unto him to continue 42 months. Again, 3.5 years. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell there in heaven, i.e., the heaven and the angels. And he talks crap about him. He goes, probably saying something like, these are aliens out to eat you, or some stupid stuff like that.
I thought he was to try and convince us using the King James Bible. You don't need the King James Bible to go, these are aliens, because they are literally aliens.
Oh, he's going to use the Bible to do this.
And according to you, the aliens don't give a shit if they're referred to as gods or not.
You see, the Bible says there is no physical heaven. The Bible says there is no physical God on this plane of existence. And he's going to use the Bible to say that's not heaven. Absolutely.
You don't need the Bible to say that's not heaven.
Why not? Because a non-religious person would who just testified to me 20 minutes ago could accept alien arrival and the gift of long life and adventures in the universe as it is. They'd accept it just fine. How would you defeat that?
Because you met one person who would agree that whenever it came there after talking to you that they can understand. I would defeat that. I would defeat that by saying exactly what I just said. They've spent time talking to you, they're an understanding, and they are already a Christian.
I'm talking about a larger group.
Larger group would look at it. A larger group would go, that's fucking aliens.
I got to talk to nobody. That's right. But if you can refer to ancient religion that they've heard of, right, and say things like heaven is immaterial, God is spirit, there is no physicality of angels. If you can make those traditional assertions based in their religious stories, the way that they understand them, then you have a pretty good argument why they should refuse these alien invaders.
Intelligent Christian that has been told, if you don't join our cult, we're going to fucking blow up the planet. Actually, we're going to blow up the planet anyway. If you don't join our cult, you're going to die. If you've got some sort of intelligence, you don't need to be religious anyway, you're going to fucking join the thing, like, you know?
That's right. The whole idea is to destroy religion and superstitious thinking, where the beast of Satan will be trying to maintain it.
Picking on the stupid people again.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Now, just to correct me, all right? Who the fuck is trying to convince everyone else that they are God? The fact still states, if you don't come with us, we're going to blow the fucking planet up. You're going to die.
No,
so
this guy,
no. Let me finish, right? This is your story. What you're coming with, what you're preaching is these are aliens. You don't need to call them God. But if you don't come with us, they're going to fucking blow up. You're going to die when the planet blows up. Right? So that's what you're going to be preaching for 3.5 years. Okay? And the Antichrist is over here preaching, these people aren't God. This isn't God. Listen to the true Bible. Well, I'd go over to him, I'd be like, dude, they're not claiming to be God. They're claiming to be aliens. They said that they set this planet, and they're going to give me a free spaceship in about 2.5 years, and I'm going to go leave with my daughter and my family and all and have a great time. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
So, like, he's not... So who's calling these people gods?
Oh, that's really easy. The story goes over this again and again. Traditionalists have to change their mind about this stuff.
So, traditionalists, which we would also be able to refer to as, say, fundamentalists. So the most fundamental Christians are the people...
We're going to have
a... No. Right, no, you haven't let me finish. Are the people who are going to switch the quickest.
No. Have the hardest time switching.
Why do they need to switch? Why do they need to see...
what they thought was true ain't true. There's no inviso God. There's no inviso heaven. There's no inviso angels. There's no other planes of existence, no ethereal plane of heaven.
Why?
What?
Why?
Because we're physical beings that experience physical things.
And the aliens arrived.
Yeah, and they're physical beings experiencing physical things.
Right. And God is supernatural. So I live for 3,000 years, and then I choose to die, and then I go to heaven.
Well, I'm slightly confused,
Okay, I'm
I
a
guess.
Christian fundamentalist, and you arrive, and I'm also a science. I work in robotics and AI and stuff, and
Cool.
you've now just arrived and shown me a physical, biological way to upload onto a new body where I can still feel and not be robotic with which I've been thinking of. You're giving me a brand new young body in around 31, 32,
Yeah.
and I get to live for 3,000 years. I'm
Pretty
still a
awesome.
fundamentalist, God-fearing, fucking Bible-bashing Christian. So you take
Yeah.
me up to that ship and I get my new stuff and all, I'm like, brilliant. Aliens are real, this is fantastic, and when I die, I can go to heaven. Why do I have to switch? You told me yourself these people...
No, you already did switch, and what you
No,
just
I
said, you
didn't.
already switched.
No, I'm still a fundamentalist Christian.
Wait.
So if
You
alien...
don't
Hold
think
on.
those are contradictory ideas?
Okay, you say it's a contradictory idea. Right. Number one, the aliens are not referring to themselves as God. Number two, their prophets are not showing them and telling everyone that they are gods. These are aliens that have arrived and conquered us. And from a scientific point of view, that is definitely possible. That has nothing to do with religion whatsoever. That is a scientific possibility
Right.
that aliens can come here and conquer us. They can be nice aliens and give us 3,000 years extra and wonderfulness and all the rest of it. And I can still believe in the Christian God, and I can still die then at the end of my 3,000 and go to... You said yourself, they don't call it heaven, we do. We call them gods, they don't call themselves gods.
Right.
So I don't need to
What's wrong
be...
with that?
I don't need to flip...
Except for the staying here part. What's wrong with that?
Called it a flipping. You made a false dichotomy. You said it's contradictory that if the aliens arrive, then it's either I have to believe it's God or not God.
Okay, if I respond poorly, correct me. But I think I understand you.
Oh, Big Zebra, audio's fucked. New to new mic. Swear to God, everybody that turns up's complaining about the mic now. Right. Look back in the chat.
Yeah. Peace and respect, Big Zebra. From what I understand, in the way that I'm reading it, in the reading frame that I've adopted, that I think is right, okay? That's the whole point. There is no religion. That religion itself is a misunderstanding of the story, that when we were described great technology, we made it gods, which is very understandable why we would do that. So it's only describing a very ancient civilization of human beings from off of this planet who have great technology. We made it a religion. It's not supposed to be religious at all. In fact, they are scientifically based. I would even go so far as to say that angels in heaven, including the Father, are anti-religious. They're against that.
Okay, fine. So they're against it. Okay, people, let me know about my audio. I've tried to tweak it on the fly here, so let me know if it's a wee bit better as I move in and around. If it's no change to Richard, he's getting a different feed, but let me know in the chat if it's any better. Right. So they're anti-religion, so they're not pushing the fact that they're a type of God. The only person pushing the narrative that they are a God is the Antichrist.
That's right.
Now, just yes and no's all I'm looking for you for the time being, right?
Yes.
Okay, so a yes. So, I lost it. Right, aliens come. Scientific, Christian fundamentalist, right? And the Christian fundamentalist still believes that God is a supernatural being in a supernatural world, in a supernatural realm that they will transcend to afterwards. It's just going to take a wee bit longer because the aliens have conquered, which scientifically they believe is possible.
Yes.
So, when you said they have to flip, they don't. Okay? So the fundamentalists, this fundamentalist group of scientists, go.
If they don't flip, they wait for a heaven that doesn't exist and they die with the planet. They have to flip.
What?
Because they'll stay here. They'll choose to stay here.
Why?
Because they're waiting on Inviso Heaven and Inviso God.
Right? That's their end goal, but why not take the opportunity to explore the cosmos? They're also scientists.
Because that's anti-God. That's anti their religion. You don't do that. No matter what, you stay here and wait for Jesus.
You can believe that God exists and still be a scientist, dude.
Dude, there is a pretty large percentage, including all the Jehovah's Witnesses, all the Mormons, and a good chunk of Christianity and Hinduism and some Native American cultures who say that humans are going to continue on the planet gets perfected.
Good for them. Guarantee it's a majority of the population.
So they have to flip, man.
No, that little minority does. Most Christians don't.
Well, that's why I say it's something about 20% of the people who won't ascend immediately, and they don't get it, and they stay behind, and they're the most stubborn, most traditional, he calls them Pharisees and Sadducees for a really good reason.
But why though? No, you're not. You're still not grabbing what I'm pointing out. Why?
Maybe I'm not.
Is it a dichotomy where it's Inviso Heaven or aliens? Why must the aliens occupy that position when the only person that is putting that forth is the Antichrist?
Because he's staying to what they think the tradition and the truth is, and they'll be easily persuaded by what they already believe.
Persuaded to be what?
Stay here on the earth waiting for end times?
Okay, there's a minority of people that believe and want the end times. They're not worth fucking talking to because they're stupid as shit anyway, so they can stay and fucking die. But, like, I don't think you're grabbing... It doesn't have
Maybe
to
I
be...
don't.
Why must the aliens occupy, right, the position and job and title of God when themselves don't want it? Why must that be a criteria that they're putting forth if they're of the opinion that they're anti-religion? It's really confusing to me.
No, okay. I don't see the impasse yet, but maybe if we talk about it enough. Okay. So the story goes on saying, don't worship me, worship God. I'm an angel. I'm your brother. I've been through end times too. I know you're going through it. It's going to be okay. And it says that so many times I could spend hours quoting the text where it says stuff like that. Okay. Old Testament and New. So that's talking about the end time situation of the stubborn people who refuse ascension, and the prophet and his apostles and disciples and angels trying to convince people of what the reality is. But then you got the beast of Satan thrown in there being all, oh no, you were right in the first place. This is just an alien invasion. Trying to keep them in their tradition, where their tradition is bad, which is why Jesus is always saying, you have heard, but I say. You have heard, but I say. He's correcting them.
I just don't...
Now, is that a small percentage overall of the population? I think it will be, because most people make sense.
Just to address Big Zebra, you try and steal money from the priest's collection plate, and me and Amber were making it, and Amber used to bounce on their ball in their quiz. So at the time we were making it, we went with yoga balls. So picture this, you're yoga balling up to the chapel to try and steal money from the collection plate, and the priest got a big needle, and he pops your balls. Sometimes you get away, sometimes you don't. That's the bot. Right, again, Richard, I don't see the point of... I don't grasp why the people that have to stay. Like, you can have dickheads that want to stay. You could just have dickheads, rednecks, nothing to do with religious, sitting with their shotguns, shooting up at the fucking boys. Just not liking...
We're probably going to have that too.
Yeah, you're going to have that. But they could just not like being invaded by aliens. A lot of people, I would agree, are not going to like being invaded by aliens. A lot of people are not going to believe the aliens when they say, we're going to do all these good things for you. because they've just had their family ripped apart and done the whole fucking that shit, right? Corralled into an area, you know, that's not nice. They're going to be pissed off. So there's going to be a group of people that don't want to go, both religious and non-religious.
Sure.
But why must the religious people flip? Like the non-religious people can still go to heaven when they become and understand, heaven as you call it, when they understand that these are aliens and they're doing this for the betterment, as you say, of the human species. So they come to that agreement, whatever their conscience is, whatever their morality, either we agree with them or we're going to have to do it or we die.
Mm-hmm.
So they then do that, not religious. But you've got the religious people over here and they have to flip. Like, why do they have to flip? Why can they not? Is there an actual rule set down that if you believe in a God and an afterlife after this, you're not allowed in the ship? Are you? It's really leaning towards that's a...
Yeah, there is a rule like that. You can't have misunderstandings of heaven and they let you go.
Hold on. No, not a misunderstanding. I am totally aware of exactly what heaven is.
Okay.
Right? Now, you called it heaven. Aliens don't.
Oh, no. To those people, they will call it things like Valhalla, Summerland, heaven.
No, you don't know that, man. You can't say a fundamentalist Christian is going to look up at a spaceship and think it's heaven. Why would they?
No, they won't. That's what they have to flip.
You mean they have to become non-religious?
Yes.
Right. Well, when you say flip, if you have one person who's a god and this other person's a god, and I'm talking about the entire time who's talking about this person being a god, and you keep saying flip means take this person believing this is a god and change into that. Giving up religion altogether is not flipping between religions. It's giving up religion altogether.
Good. You found the impasse in our language. Good for you. Thank you.
Right. Is that what you meant the entire time? So you meant by flip, they have to give up Christ. And
they have to give up religion, all of it.
Why?
Because you can't accept reality having misperceptions about what reality is.
So, confirm for me, it is impossible for this person who was a fundamentalist Christian to come to terms with the idea that these people invading are aliens. It is impossible for that person to then realize this is God's plan and then join the alien race and then still be under the belief that they are going to die
and go to heaven somewhere
and go to inviso heaven, as you call it.
Mm-hmm.
That's possible.
No. They're not going to allow people to go to heaven, whether they want to or not, if they don't understand that is heaven.
So they are promoting themselves as gods. You said they weren't.
No. God is a set of constructs that runs the society heaven.
That's your understanding of it, man. And you're literally saying
this is all my understanding of it.
I understand what you refer to as God, but you want people to stop thinking that this person is God and be something else as God. And then you say that they don't promote themselves as God.
Well, Jesus says, I'm doing what I saw the Father do. Right?
Contradicting yourself in a sentence.
No, I'm not. We're having some kind of like a verbal impasse, but I'm not contradicting myself. That God is spirit, the seven spirits, and all the repercussions from them, which is complex. There's a lot of it, right? But every time even the angel of God shows up and someone like bows down to worship because see, you do this not. I am your brother. I am not God. All of them say, I'm not God. Don't worship me, worship God. Saying the highest thing is this spirit thing. Right. I'm
going to make a statement, and I'd like some interaction from the chat. We'll be getting near the end stuff now, right? But I'm getting to this, okay? If you keep saying, I'm not God, but I am the only route to heaven, right?
Yes.
Then you're one of two things, okay? You are putting forth the idea that there is no gods whatsoever, right? But and heaven is just a place, okay? or you're putting for. I've lost my fucking point. I thought about it too much. Trying to find the right words. I'm just saying you can't say that there's heaven and you can only get to heaven with me without portraying that you were God. Okay? And when people come up to you and say, oh, I love you because you're God and I want to worship you. And he's like, oh, I'm not God. I'm not God. And they're like, yeah, but you've got heaven. And like, you know, all this shit. And he's like, yeah, but I'm not God. You know, but you can only get into heaven through me. And like, heaven's good God, but it's not me. It's not me. It's someone else. Like, it's someone else. It's this group of ideas.
I don't see why that seems contradictory to you. I really don't get it. Social structures are not beings. The beings say we follow the social structure. The social structure is God. I am not God. However, if you won't accept that what you've been calling heaven this whole time is a series of spaceships, that is, you won't accept the truth, then you can't go there. We're not letting you in under the pretense of a lie.
I understand that you are aliens, and I understand that you have a group of ships here to get me. Okay? And if you call the ships anything else but heaven, I'll get on.
No. They don't care what words you use.
So
you have to understand what it is, though.
Okay.
You have to understand what these things mean, though. Like if an angel came to you and said, this is what you've been calling heaven, it's where we live.
Oh.
You can come explore the galaxies with us.
Give me a second. Sorry. I have a sentence coming in my mind. I don't want you to interrupt. So you have literally got this religion, which they say is not a religion, coming across going, this is the way it is, this is reality, and if you don't accept it, you can fuck off. So now you've went from the same as every other religion, same as every other Christian, to now the same as every other fucking religion. Accept me or fuck off. Why?
Well, here's how it goes, man. Reality's reality. I don't care if you like it.
Jason, the thought experiment is more I know you haven't been around. You need to watch like fucking 3 years of me and Richard talking. Richard believes that this is the 23rd Earth. Richard also believes that Jesus is a job, God is a set of ideals, and the Father is the previous Jesus from the previous Earth who comes here.
That's confusing as hell. That's not going to help.
It's the truth, though.
It's true, but it's too brief and it's too quick and it's too many topics.
It would give Jason an interest in maybe your channel, and you've just gained a viewer and he'll go and check you out. If I had to put you in the description, someone link Richard.
I'm having some fun with Jason Torr. I like his brain. I want to have conversations with him, and I'm kind of working toward that.
Right. Well,
let me just say, dismissing social requirements. The ancient stories are describing a cycle of multiple Earths. That's as simple as I can put it. And it's not about being religious. It's about accepting the reality at hand.
Yes, and they can accept the reality. But they have another reality. A Christian, if the aliens came, is still available and possible for them to accept the alien invasion, accept the new body, accept an extra 3,000 or 10,000 or whatever how many years, and still believe that heaven is later on in another realm. They are still able to do that.
That becomes like a moral issue for the angels. I don't know.
You are giving them the words. You have said it multiple times. They don't care about the words.
Yeah, you can call him Fred. He's still Michael.
Okay, so Fred.
Or Michael's one way to say his name.
But angel, you can call. We're going to call angels badgers from now on. Okay, so the alien angels we're going to refer to as badgers, and then the normal
magical space badgers.
No, just badgers. Just badgers.
Damn.
Right. We'll give them a phaser. Okay, badgers with phasers.
That's very generous.
But if they turn up and go, I'm a badger with a phaser and we've an alien spaceship, the Christians are going like, cool.
No, they wouldn't. I don't know why you say that or how you say that.
I'm saying it's a possibility, and you believe that all Christians are going to say no. And I'm saying it's definitely a possibility.
No, I didn't say all. I said a small percentage.
Did the fundamentalists.
The traditional fundamentalists, the extremists.
Why is it impossible for them to think, short version, this is part of God's plan? For the earth to be invaded, it's part of God's plan.
They might think that.
Why can't they? And they still get on the ship.
Well,
Why do they have
first
to
they
flip?
first they were told the story, right? And they thought it was all like fairy tale form. But then when the stuff happened, their brain flipped over and they going, "Oh, this is what the fairy tale was talking about."
Why
right?
do
So they just saw 3.5 years of these events.
Why they have to believe that what is happening is part of the Bible? Why can they not believe that it's something that's happened that's part of God's plan and still, like, you're trying to get around the fact that there's a rule that you're not allowed to come on if you're a normal, traditional Christian, right? Without saying there's a rule.
It becomes like a moral issue. I think that we don't go to our future home, flesh and all, with misunderstandings and pretenses that aren't accurate in reality. I think that's unfair.
Right. So
I think that'd be unjust.
So you are applying the context of what heaven is to this. You were giving the validity. You were going to be using heaven.
I think the spirits of God necessitate that if someone's
later,
going to follow it, i.e. angels, peace and respect, Steve, i.e. angels who are the hand of God, in order that they perfectly follow God, they can't let you continue in a lie. That would be deceptive. That would be confusing.
Beings, okay, hold on now, right? I'm going to end on this question, okay? We'll end on this question. So you are making the statement that the aliens are arriving and they won't let you on their group of ships if you believe in a supernatural God that by definition cannot be tested by physical means. So these aliens, having mastered the physical world, also know that they can prove the supernatural wrong using natural means.
I think they're going to make more like definitive statements and claims that'll be very convincing,
people
because
have
they're
been doing
like
that since fucking Greek times, man. All right,
but it'll be a little bit different then.
No, but you literally made the statement that you are not allowed on the ship unless you know the truth. Okay, and they are regardless of how technologically advanced they are in this world, the supernatural and that sort of Christian, by definition, is supernatural and cannot be fucking tested by this physical world. So you can have the aliens that know where every single atom is at every single moment in time and can hit a fucking button and pause it in a little secret room where they can dance and then unpause it, right? They have complete control of the physical world. They still can't know the supernatural. Okay? So they cannot come down and say, you're not getting on our ship unless you believe the truth and the supernatural doesn't exist, because they're just fucking mouthy atheists now. That's all they are. Mouthy fucking atheists.
Although I do have to meter the assertion, and here's why.
Love sliders, Jason. Absolutely love sliders.
I don't know what that is.
It's a show where they travel between worlds.
I do have to hedge what I'm saying somewhat, because it says there were people who were merchants, and they're in the basement of heaven on the glass floor under God's throne looking down at the earth while it's being destroyed. And they're like, oh, it's been destroyed in 1 hour. But they don't really get that they're in heaven yet. Like, why are they mourning the planet? You're in freaking heaven. You made it.
I don't know. Sabrina Hofstetter released a video the other day on multiple Earths. I haven't watched it yet, Jason. I don't know if you watched Sabrina Hofstetter. She's a physicist. Yeah. Right. We've been going for long enough. It's been.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget about the Cro-Mags. Isn't it the Cro-Mags? I think the evil people are the Cro-Mags. They're like a slightly differently evolved human. Same Earth and all, but I think they're the Cro-Mags. I don't know. Not the Cro-Mags. That sounds it.
I think Satan got all the bones.
I got all the bones. Right.
He got all the bones.
How was my audio for the last, say, 20 minutes, half an hour? Was it better? Was it tweaking more? Did people hear me more when I moved around? As you say, we're trying to get it right before the new one. Thank you, everyone, for the super chats and the hashtag new Mike Fund. I didn't even start that. That was fucking thank you back. But yeah, I don't give a shit. Second hand, fucking, but we'll see about that. Anyway, Richard, what have you got coming up?
Well, I've got Big Zebra, possibly, and Mac the Human, possibly tomorrow, and that will be 10 o'clock Mountain and or 2 o'clock Eastern. If you guys want to attend that, I appreciate it. It's a show where a reluctant theist and an agnostic pose questions to me without briefings, and I do my best to answer whatever they ask. It has to be of some kind of religious nature.
Yeah, it is. It's not a bad show. Not a bad show. I've got the usual Saturday night open panels. Saturday went on for ages. If you haven't watched last week's, it's like fucking 4 hours of different people popping in and out. And what would you be if you were a limited, now different version of Richard, but a god of limited power? You know, you've been given... The rules were discussed, alright? Go back and watch the rules, and then there was fights and polls and whether different questions and scenarios would pass the rules and shit. It was good fun. But you're a god of limited power. What would you do within a week? And you get one thing a week. So you've got 7 things that you can do. We discussed revealing yourself, but only to one person, not a group of people. Must be physical. Shush, Maya. Everyone loved the rules. What are you talking about? Simos fucking hated the rules, but everyone else loved the rules. But yeah, 4 hours of that. That might be happening again on Saturday. I like the idea of pressing a question. So if anyone has an idea for a question for a group of people of all different shapes and sizes, if it's worthwhile, definitely go into consideration. Leave it in the comments or send me a tweet or a Discord or whatever the crack is. Let me know. So questions are a really good way to go with that. So,
Next show, what would you do if you were Satan for a week?
Same powers, and I think Willie Pisshat would probably give the same answer. His answer was cause an EMP with the sun and destroy all technology working, and then over the course of a week, very quickly, wipe out a lot of the population so that everyone's forced into tribes, and the whole idea of different languages appears, and then nobody can communicate. And then he just wants
What
to
is
sit
the
back.
Old Testament? He's reciting the Old Testament. What a cheater.
Just wanted to sit back with a Coke for like the last 3 days and just relax.
See, I admitted my cheat. I said I wouldn't change anything. I think it's perfect, like it is.
Christopher Marty's answer was spend the first 2 days making rich guys fall in love with him while he give them blowies and then kill them and steal their money. I was like, man, you could do that in one day.
Why didn't you just wish for all the money?
It was funny. Definitely watch it. But yeah, that's Saturday. Me and Richard will be back here next week, as per usual. So really do appreciate everyone. I say thank you very much for the Super Chats, members, and all the rest of it. Is really do help and all going well. I'm going to have to buy a new mic now, aren't I? Can't be just buying cigarettes and drugs and weed and all the rest of it. Like, so, on that note, Richard, thank you very much as always.
Thank you.
Everybody in the chat, don't forget, none of what we say is scholarly. It's all our own opinions. Remember to think for yourselves, people.